Hello, everybody. Here we are on Facebook Live, the Trust Frequency Embodied and the Dance of Souls with Andrew Cameron Bailey.
That's me.
That's you. And I'm Connie Baxter Marlow, and here's Wowza Elisa Lodge herself.
Hello, Wowza.
She's the greatest. And
Good to
guess
see
what? Wowza just turned
Don't tell. 19.
84 years old.
She's 27. She's maturing nicely.
So let's see. So Wowza, we are going to, yeah, we can't hear you, Wowza.
Just a little
There
detail.
we are.
There we are. Wow, you're looking so beautiful. It's so great to see you after your birthday party that we enjoyed.
Yeah, so raring to go.
Yeah, sure. And guess what? Andrew's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, they're right.
Remember when we shared our birthdays? We had a joint birthday. That was wonderful.
That was. I remember.
Yeah, you guys have, you're the 8th and he's the 17th.
17th.
So wonderful, wonderful. And hi, Kate.
Yeah, hello.
Wonderful to see you.
Oh, Kate.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're going to just go through some foundational principles of the Dance of Souls that applies the trust frequency principles to our relationships, to ourselves, others, and the universe. So this is so important in these times that we shift our understanding of the nature of the universe, because cutting edge science is proving to us that the old scientific paradigm of separation and disconnectedness, which is the same thing, isn't valid anymore. So we are applying principles of unity, of love, of the loving universe to our relationships. And so what we're going to do is give a little information, and then we are going to, Andrew's going to do a little brief little process for the heart, and he's going to do a little process, and then Wowza is going to take us through an embodiment practice to embody. And this is about self-love and self-acceptance, because without that self-love, one thing, we're in a lower frequency, and in another, we bring in people to show us the parts of ourselves we don't love. So we bring in people to show us the parts of ourselves we love, which is our light. But we also bring those people in, experiences in, to show us the parts of ourselves we don't yet love, that we came to the planet to learn to love and accept. So that's what this is all about, this dance of souls. So we can call it dancing the dance of souls in the trust frequency.
I like that. Yeah.
So Andrew and I have written a book called The Trust Frequency, 10 Assumptions for a New Paradigm. So let's just go through these fundamental assumptions for the dance of souls, because you all can go on our previous, we did a whole thing on the 10 assumptions together, a whole series.
How many weeks?
12 weeks.
12 weeks of it, yeah. With Wowza.
With
Amazing.
Wowza.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, when I put the link to the prior recording, so one can walk through this 10 assumptions, the whole construct on the nature of the universe, with these prior recordings. But what we're going to do now is just go over the ones that apply directly to our relationships. Okay, so let's do that. And we can, Andrew and you and I can kind of go through it together.
Okay.
So do you have anything you want to say on this subject?
Was I going to lead some sort of tuning?
A little attunement
meditation?
at the end, after I'll give.
After,
yeah.
okay, just clarification.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, no, let's get rolling.
So what this is about, it's about moving from victim to beloved. And it's really about shifting our story, shifting our assumptions about the nature of the universe that helps us change our story from victim to beloved. It's a big change. And it's a big deal. And we just need to see how open we are for change, for changing our assumptions, for changing deep-rooted trauma stories, victim stories, poor pitiful me stories, because what this construct does is it takes us up and out of those stories. It doesn't replace doing the healing work. It's so important to do the deep healing work for traumatic experiences, but it's also about just going deep underneath those traumatic experiences and into the knowing that we are love. We are the loving universe. And so it's a big, deep process. And we ask you to take certain assumptions as absolutely true. And that means absolutely. So that there's no what ifs and buts and whatevers. There is only these assumptions as absolutely true for this exercise. And those assumptions are that it's a conscious, loving universe. And there's absolutely only love, free will, and the soul's journey to wholeness. And what that means is this soul's journey to wholeness is our self-love, our journey to self-love, our journey to self-acceptance, and our alignment with our soul's divinity and gift and purpose. So it's a big job that we came here to do. And what we have a definition of humanity. And that definition of humanity is, do you want to say what that is?
I could do that.
You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this actually came directly from Connie. So when we first met and she started telling me these amazing things, we ended up writing this book. And this is foundational. Humanity is a collection of divine, autonomous, sovereign beings who chose to incarnate on earth to learn and grow on our soul's journey to wholeness. And each of us comes with a gift and a purpose.
Okay. So what this says is that we gave an overarching act of free will when we chose to incarnate, to learn to love all of ourselves and align with our divinity and to bring our gift. So that is a key piece of this construct, that we gave this overarching act of free will. Okay, because there's only free will. There's only the soul's journey to wholeness. There's only love. It's a big deal. And we're going through this pretty quickly because we have gone through it before. This is really kind of a refresher because we haven't been on for several weeks. And what we have to understand is it's the job we came here to do. So there's no shame. There's no blame, both personally and collectively. It's a big deal because we're looking at the world now and we're looking at who humanity's been and all that. And guess what? It's the job we came here to do as a species, because we're doing it for all of creation. We're transmuting the fear, separation, scarcity, illusion, so that we would walk through this process and do this for all of creation. We're going to shift all of creation when we get through this personally and collectively. And we understand that we are the consciousness of unconditional love coming to understand itself. And there's new science that's proving just that and saying just that. Jude Currivan, with her whole world view, she's a physicist, and she's spent a lot of time with indigenous people and ancient wisdom, looked into the Vedic and all that. She's saying it's the science of love, that physics, the new physics. So that's exciting, very exciting for us, because we've been saying this for so long. And so each soul will create the conditions needed to become whole. Okay. See, our soul actually magnetizes behavior from others and circumstances in our life, because we told the conscious loving universe to take us on this journey. So it's a whole different trip from feeling like, oh no, something horrible just happened to me again. And then it's just gonna keep happening because it's been happening all my life. Well, guess what? Our lives are our movie. We are the director, the script writer, and lead actor. Others show up with scripts we have written. So just know that, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's a gift they're giving us by coming to us with those scripts. It's really a cool way of looking at it if one gets to that point. So we choose our parents, and we magnetize the behavior we need to take on the wounds we need to create these stories. And we embark on the heroine's journey. Yeah. And we feel our self-doubt. And in the blame-shame paradigm, we are the victim, because we've come here are these people. You made me feel all these things. Well, guess what? No one's making us feel anything. We are feeling those things because that's what we think about ourselves. So it's a big deal. So use those things, those feelings, to say, okay, what am I feeling? That's what I feel about myself. It's not what you made me feel. It's you gave me the gift so that I could feel it, because I can't see it. It's in my subconscious. And then we hide that stuff under a mask, and we show up and we make like we're fine, we're all there, we're 100%, we're successful, we're happy, we're funny, we're all those things. And so we put on that mask, but that mirrors are showing us what's under that mask. And what do? We don't want anybody to know, because we've shown up with this mask. So we defend it with certain behaviors. And during this course, we're going to, in the next several weeks, we're going to take you through a process to recognize these things. And this is really just a surface explanation so that you get a feeling for what this is all about. And we actually have a course online called The Dance of Souls on a learning site, learning portal called socialchrysalis.com. So these are our core issues. This self-doubt that we're discovering, it becomes our core issues. And we know when we get triggered that we are accessing our core issues. And we're dancing the dance of souls with our parents, our siblings, our co-workers, our partners, the universe, circumstance. We say circumstance loves us more than we do. So, because circumstance is taking us on this journey. And it's repeated behaviors and triggers that show us what's hidden in our subconscious, because we can't see it. It's back here. It's like, okay, here's a mirror. This is what I get to see, the back of my head, because with this 2 mirrors. So that's what's in our subconscious, and we want to get that up and out. These hidden self-doubts are our shadow. It's called shadow work. But as I said, it's nothing to be ashamed of. And we bring in these experiences to show us our light and our shadow so that we can progress on this journey if we're willing to. And we make the big flip. As we become conscious of this dance, we make the big flip from blaming others to acknowledging our journey. And we shift from anger to gratitude. And we're freed from victim consciousness, and we've changed our assumptions, we've changed our understanding, and the world changes with us because nobody has to come in to show us our shadow anymore. So that's it in a nutshell. And now we'd like to just have maybe a little chat about how that experience how we've all experienced it. So Andrew and I have been on this journey for 17 years. We've been dancing the dance of souls for 17 years. And it's quite the dance, wouldn't you say, darling?
That's one way of putting it. Yeah, it's wonderful, and it's educational and enlightening, and sometimes challenging. And that, I think, is there anybody who doesn't experience that? I don't know. We all have layers of the onion to strip off and penetrate down to the center.
I think we wouldn't be coming back if we didn't. I think we keep evolving. We keep coming back to get this job done. And it's like using a little whisk broom into our subconscious. Oh, there's that one that I missed. And oh, there's that one that I missed, right? Because it's just, we're in our 70s. Wowza's in her 80s. She'll talk a little about it. And yeah, it's quite a process. Wowza, what are your thoughts? You have to unmute. You have to unmute. Unmute.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel like I'm bringing in some whimsy. Our nervous system loves novelty. And somehow while you were talking, I have to share a really quick experience of actually having a vision of standing off planet. And I was there with many thespian actors who were giving their eye teeth to come here, to play a really great role in the best movie possible. And they were vying, not just I was vying, not please, I don't want to play that nice girl again. Do I have to come back and play a nice girl again? I want some meaty parts. Rage, to me, really. And I was with this friend and I called her Sabi, called him Sabi, which was saboteur. And so we were going to come down and I was, of course, going to play the subservient and he was going to play the saboteur. And we were going to have these great adventures and it would all be filmed, 4-star movie. And at the end, we would certainly remember who we were. And it was, I called him Sabi, and there was one moment where I was knee deep in the worst kinds of a relationship mess. And I went, Sabi, isn't it time to wake up yet? And my brother didn't get it. Didn't get it. But I wanted to share, there was, after that experience of really honoring and coming into self-love with all the parts that created this big movie, I was just able to truly see that I needed all those experiences.
Beautiful.
Everything was in its perfection. And we had Academy Award performances. And we all clapped for the ugly duckling into the swan, which is a story I came here to share.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So thanks for sharing that. And Andrew's going to take us into a little self-love process, and then Wowza is going to take us into a embodiment process. So let's do you want to do that, Andrew?
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So let's gently go into the silence. Let's close our eyes and become aware of our breathing. The breathing, our breath, is the difference between being alive and not being alive. So let's just take a deep, what is called a cleansing breath. Just inhale and hold it at the top just a little bit and release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Hold it and release. Last time. Breathe in. Hold and release. And here we are. The question is, what does that mean? We are here. We are somewhere. As we said a moment ago, humanity, that includes me and you and everyone we've ever met and everyone we're descended from and everyone who will descend from us. We are all members of this stream of consciousness that's emanating from the loving universe and manifesting in all these different stories, all these dramas, all these adventures, all these apparent differences. And yet, we all came from the same place, and we all return to the same place. So I've been thinking about the ancestors. The ancestors, speaking personally, are those human manifestations of divine oneness who came before me in my personal bloodline, in my personal lineage. We've been spending a lot of time with the native elders of many cultures around this beautiful planet. And they have this extraordinary reverence for and honoring of the ancestors. And so I got thinking about that, and I realized that I am an ancestor. As well as being a descendant, I am an ancestor. I am the descendant of my forebears, and yet I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I have a 1-month-old baby grandson who just arrived. We haven't physically met yet. We will. So what does it mean to be a human being here and now, here, in this moment, on this planet, in this precious present moment? It means that we are each the current representative of our line, of our lineage. We're part of a continuum that goes way back to the very beginning of our species. And I would say further back than that, in what we perceive as linear time, all the way through to my grandfather or my 2 grandfathers and my grandmothers, and then to my parents, and then to me. Here I am, and I pass this consciousness and what I have learned and who I am on to my children and to my grandchildren, and they will pass it on down into the perceived future. So there's something about this idea of being here and now that is kind of slippery, because we're sliding along this extraordinary arrow through space and time. And here we are in this precious moment. And I just wanted to acknowledge that we have, in a sense, it's a responsibility. It's as though there's a Broadway play that's been running for 173 years. And the original actors on the stage when it started were not the same as though they are today. Wowza, you would get that. We are part of an ongoing manifestation of extraordinary beauty, complexity, challenges for sure. And we come to learn through this drama of being born and coming into this world and encountering fellow humans and the challenges that sometimes brings, and the joy that sometimes brings, and the pain and the sorrow that sometimes brings. So let's just sit here in this precious present moment for about another 30 seconds in the silence, remembering our breath, that which connects us with the timeline of which we are a magical part. And take one deep, final, beautiful breath of this precious air and fill our lungs and release and open our eyes. And here we are in this precious present moment.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. It's so important that we really get it, that the cleaning up we do, the cleansing, the healing that we do affects our descendants, affects the collective right now for all people, all of humanity. It's such a powerful understanding that this new science is bringing to us, that it's our responsibility to do this work now, here and now. So Wowza, take us on a little ride to self-love and self-acceptance. Yay. You're muted. That was lovely.
That was lovely. And it was such a beautiful tone. True sacred actors coming together to perform in sacred theater. And I think that was one of the great transforming moments when I realized that all of the pain and suffering, and particularly in relationships, and I just imagined what it would have been like to know I was playing a role in an actual movie. Ooh, and I was awake. I feel that's the only difference, that awake and asleep. We're going to have dramas. We're going to have all of these things. We're an inner universe in reflection to the outer universe. So what's happening out there? Oh boy, it's happening in here on some level. And so this idea, I'm an inner universe, mostly divisive. Mostly I have used my body language to cover up, to disguise, to wear masks. And then have a sub voice, a sub words inside, saying, oh, I got to get out of here. I feel stuck. I feel miserable. All of the belief systems. So with all of that, I'd just like you to imagine, take your hands and rub them, rub them, rub them. These are the magical hands. They travel more than we would realize. And just for a moment, I mean, if you could just fluff up your aura for openers. I mean, just, that beautiful light that shines around our body. Carillion photography has proved it. We can, come on, keep it going. You don't just do one little fluff, but to literally expand and extend the auric field for a moment. Wow. As you say, wow. And by extending now our peripheral vision, where do we end? Where do you end, Connie? Here? Andrew, maybe here? Are we all wide? Do we have something above our heads? Can we feel above our heads? Can we feel below our feet? Oh, how big. And use your hands. This is exercise. This is the fitness. Use your hand. How big do I allow myself to be? Wait a minute. And that breath. Now we are going to be creative with all of the muck and the mire of past history. So breath can go, how wide, how long, and how audible that exhale is. Can we just have a, yeah, keep it going. You got to get the sides. Come on, baby. Come on, Connie. Yeah, keep going. Over here, the side, up above the head. You're literally extending this field, this body into a unified field. And I would just have you swim in it for a moment. I mean, swim in this wee space. And guess what's going to lead it now in this new world? The spirit of life itself. So rather than nice movement, Andrew, let's move it with the breath, move with the life force, move as the spirit of life itself. Look at the difference. Open that, open that mouth. Yeah, let it out. Let it out. draw it in. We, the universe, this human body, and all of its dramas are in the theater of a huge global happening now. It is my going back too much. Boy, we can get a little caught in the muck and the mire. And if more and more we are now saying, what is working? What are we really aware of as the truth frequency now?
Mm.
Let's see, let's explore. I mean, let's really find out what is true now. And I know one thing, I'm developing an actor's training for life. And to be creative in this, to be the actor there where there is nothing, no one, you are not. There's no one you're not. We're all in it, entangled to the nth degree. And so we need to be creative with the life force. Blessing to all the exercises, but there is definitely something larger than all the exercises put together, right? So how up, open. See, just use your hands in your audible breath. Be the wind for a moment. Play like a kid. Use your hand.
The wind.
The wind. What does the wind blow through you? How would you move as the wind? Come on, Connie. How would you move as the wind? How would you breathe as a wind? Yeah, like a little kid, Micah, who exercises their breath with free-spirited aliveness. And everybody's yawning because we're starving for oxygen. We need to play with this breath. We need to play with this body. And now in self-love, oh, blessings and praises, brain. Take your hands. Blessings. Oh my God, what would I do without you? Hi, you know, and all the masks I've worn. Oh my God, brilliant.
Take them off.
The extraordinary. But I honor them too. They were our survival. They need to be loved, probably more than anything else. Anything that is made less in self-love is not love. So we have to watch too fast what we're getting rid of. And the more we can play it, honor it, I mean, yeah, here comes the judge. Who do you think you are? You know, listen to me. I'm taking over this relationship. Damn, I wish I could have said that in all my subservient ways. I need that part. And now maybe we can play them. We can play them with joy. You know, I'll never lose my little ugly duckling. You know, I mean, cross eyes, eczema, the little kid, I mean, the abuse and all of the judgments in the little shoulders. And now I can just love her and she can come out because she's so beautifully part of the story. My story. I don't want to throw my story. It's a great story.
It's a great story.
I could honor it. Instead of trying to kill her, I tried. I mean, bury her, you know. But here she comes now, you know. And then all of a sudden, discovering a great big energy. I mean, an energy that went blah, you know, like the dragon breathing fire. And here was this little kid. In 2 seconds, with a conscious mask put on my face. Whoa. And then this little kid went, holy moly. Who am I? Here's me, this little victim child. And here's this, whoa, I can't even tell my parents, I can't tell anybody. I had such an energy through me. And I elected to play it safe. See, we can just, with this exercise, there's really a great thing in your fitness to make yourself slowly, as a meditation, make yourself small. Take yourself into the quantum, and notice the little angles, the way one shoulder does a little thing, and what happens in your ribs as you make yourself small. And hold that is your habit yoga of your separation of wholeness. There she is. And then the unraveling, more, all energies waves. So the more wave, more motions you create in your spine. Come on, we gotta get some waves going in there. And then when we can arc up to the skies, there's that dominant. We can open up our voice to the dominance, and we can also open our voice to the sky, to the heaven on earth, and it's a different tone. The versatility of living these energies now. The flexibility that our body is an ocean of emotion that can play all of the emotions with love. There ain't no bigger or less, because what we're coming into now for our final thing, see, when I do it above or I do it below, gravity wins, tears me down. When we befriend the trust frequency of a neutrality first and foremost from heaven to earth, gravity becomes our friend. Gravity uplifts us, supports us. And it is my metaphor for love. It holds the whole show together. So we are level-headed in our no one above, no one below, equal to the world we live in as the world.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Wowza, what masks, how many masks have you worn?
I mean, see, they're all over the.
List them?
They are all over the house.
Look at that one.
There's a subtle shift.
Is that your movie actor mask?
I said they are all over the house. So this just happened to be.
That's gorgeous.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
It's just
But
so
literally, how many masks have you worn in your life?
I've had something called the Sacred Mask experience at Esalen Institute against shamanic work, and masks were used for centuries to change consciousness. And this was where this whole idea came from. Oh my God, I'm so much more than I think I am. Because you change mask after mask consciously. You don't even have to. Hey, guys are talking about, you just stick out your little chin and suddenly everything changes, including your voice. And then boom, gone. Oh, magically shape-shifting consciously out of anything as a sacred actor. Now you see me. No, you don't. I mean, so fun to play with our energy. And I just give people permission, basically permission in what would it be like to walk and move and talk as a universal being. I mean, what would that be like? Really? How would we walk? I mean, how would we begin to breathe? And I'm sensing too, the more with our eyes, we know we're one. I am one with you, Connie. And yet you have a unique frequency. See, you have something, we're one, but you have something that is dormant in me. This is a different way of perceiving. And the more, see that little smile, the hair, I mean, just the chin and just the qualities. Oh, see, all of a sudden there's a possibility of a new kind of download. And it's a thank you. So that the more we could actually mirror model more, just that little bit, we keep coming way bigger and bigger and bigger. We could do that with, where's the fry pan? The head on the head, and we could play, and 3 seconds. And that's the play of the voice. That's the actor's training. So cooking breakfast, you know, and the eggs are going all over the place and the kids are screaming, I hear that dog, you know, and run around the house for 1 second would be your fitness for the morning. Now, EEG machines, which I have played with, there ain't nothing come close. I taught yoga. I love all of those kinds of things where you follow leaders forever. Free-spirited creativity. And what does this world need but free-spirited creativity ever before is now? And so this is going, wait a minute, you know, I would tell the Chinese that I'd worked with a long time, you know, look, we're going to be creative with our breath. It was like, well, how many counts do I hold? Where do I go on my inhale? Where do I start? And I said, no. You just start making this sound, this, oh, and you give it a tail and you wave it around, you know, it can go a little anywhere. See where it would like to go. Never before were they ever asked to be creative with this human instrument. I mean, that's really kind of scary in a way. We have been so regimented. And to present these images, that's where we got the strokes.
You could take your hair down and you could become another.
I'm going here.
You can see
But
Andrew, he can transform,
you know.
Andrew can transform instantaneously.
Instantaneously. We all can. See, that's what's
Let
so
his hair down.
Let the hair down. Here, I'll get one of mine. Let's see if I love this guy.
He's going to get something.
I love this guy. Wait a minute. Oh. See, no matter what I pull, what's so gorgeous, it doesn't matter ugly. What did he do? Oh, see, ha ha ha. Oh, ta.
Oh,
I got my trusted. I use this guy. You think with all your yoga, you don't have any idea about flexibility. Flexibility. Look at that. Oh, yes.
so there's Andrew's new look. He's gone.
Oh, yes.
It's my old look.
And tell us, who are you? Who are you? What's your name?
I am who, H-U,
Who?
who.
Ooh. Oh, and you come to the planet for what possibility?
Actually, I'm here to cleanse the planet
I like it.
by a simple act of breathing,
Oh,
which transforms everything.
yes.
In fact, the entire universe is
The entire universe.
breathing.
Ah.
And I have one message. It's very brief. It is this. Did you hear what I said? It is this. This, P-H-I-S. This is not a rehearsal.
Ah.
This is it.
This is it.
Here we are.
See, then we can take a phrase like that. You know, we get so, nothing's one mundane, you know, straight line consciousness. So to this is it. 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 Come on. How many billions of ways can we celebrate our creativity with this is it? This is it. Say it.
Yeah.
20,000. I don't want
So
to
Kate,
go.
Kate, Kate, I bet you, I know you
This-
have several looks.
This is it.
Several.
Oh, you know, interestingly enough, yeah, I've never been a fan of the mask. I much more appreciate the unscripted moment.
Oh,
So
God.
I'm so grateful I got to spend this last hour with you.
Yay.
Yeah, Kate, you're kind of looking like your schoolgirl kind of look today. Doesn't she look like a schoolgirl today?
Well, you know, we're only as old as the stories we tell ourselves. And at 50, I started going backwards. So
Yeah, I can see that.
living in our prime and And as you were
Absolutely.
speaking, the grandfather and grandmother role is to be that spiritual expression that the youth want to emulate. And so thank you all for being that and living this trust frequency where we know that we somehow our words are going to reach enough people and we are going to be able to come together in such an unprecedented mass of eco warriors that are going to start loving this life that we're creating and living. Just it really kind of makes sense.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
It does.
yeah, we're changing the movie script, living in the
Yeah.
eternal now.
Yay.
Loving you all.
David,
Yeah, appreciate it being
David.
here.
Yay. So we're getting close to having to close up. But I'll tell you one thing. I put a mask on, and when I was 18, I put on the mask of Melissa Milquetoast.
The gorgeous Melissa
So
Milquetoast.
what was her
Gorgeous
tone?
Melissa
Just, I love your tone, Connie, but your body has billions of tones. Could you do Melissa's tone? See, just for fun. It doesn't have to be, it's just
Melissa. Well, Melissa was just, she wasn't her powerful self. She was just quiet. Do you believe that? I was quiet.
Huh?
And I just fit in and just let everything go because I was told I was too strong for a woman. So I became Melissa Milquetoast. But I got sick because you can't deny who you are. And guess what? I have a man who loves my powerful self. So I can be constantly Connie instead of Melissa Milquetoast.
Oh no, again, let's love her a little. Yeah, let's let that shine.
Love Melissa Milquetoast?
Yes, she's a part of you. And we're going for self-love.
No, Melissa.
No.
Melissa.
There's something is outside of God. Oh,
You rejected Melissa?
Well, Melissa.
this is outside. Oh,
Sounds
Nicole.
very nutritious. Milk toast?
Milquetoast.
like
Anywho, there come the men for their men's time together. So let's sign off and let them sign on. Thank you so much,
Can you
Wowza.
make me host?
David, good to see you. Kate, thanks for joining us, my dear.
I'm asking, can you make me host before you leave?
Yeah, sure. So let me get off of Facebook Live.
All right, so let's just wrap it up here, folks.
Yeah,
So
we'll say goodbye.
here we are. It's a journey. This is not a rehearsal. This is it. And we're simply in the midst of the most extraordinary drama that's actually ever happened. In fact, the only drama that's ever happened, which is us.
Us right
Being
now,
here
here
now.
and now.
Yeah.
So
So
here we
thank
go.
you. See you next
Thank
week.
you, everybody. And I'm going to stop Facebook Live.